Don't tell anybody that there's a target on my audience.
Welcome to another episode of Chewing the Fat. I'm your host, Big Rob. Thank you so much for tuning in, downloading the podcast. I really appreciate that. Thanks to the folks who bought me a coffee at chewingthefatbr.com. You help the podcast keep going. And of course, all the new friends that are following the podcast at Chewing the Fat BR on Instagram. I really appreciate your kind words. The folks that have written reviews on like Apple Podcast and the folks that give them 5-star ratings. Thank you so much. Those help the podcast keep going too, as well as great stories. I love telling beautiful, messy, human stories. And that's what this podcast is all about. And I have a great guest sitting in front of me right now, all the way from Iowa. Please welcome Tyler Smith.
The crowd goes wild. Hello, Rob. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing quite well. Yeah. Another day, another beautiful, beautiful opportunity to experience joy. Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
Dude, I love seeing you sitting in your tiny little padded room. Tyler is a voice actor that I met at VO Atlanta a few weeks ago. As a matter of fact, we got rather intimate as we were roommates up there. So thank you so much for allowing me to crash in your unused second bed in your major suite that you had at VO Atlanta. I really appreciate that, buddy.
I don't know about a suite. The second bed, it was nice to have a blind date roommate kind of situation turn out to be you. Like, of all people, there could have been some monsters in that closet, but I'm very fortunate to have met you, and I really believe that you enriched my experience there at the conference. And I'm excited to know you. I'm excited to get to know you better and know you deeper. So.
Yeah, absolutely. You too, man. And I mean, we had some pretty good deep late night conversations too. I mean, we solved some world problems, came up with some cool concepts. I mean, we did some pretty cool stuff in those late night conversations. So, but I want to share you with the world, man. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, I was going to say those late night conversations were fantastic. I'm really a collaborative person, and getting to bounce that off of you, who, lo and behold, was also a collaborative person. And you like really brought that depth and meaning. You asked me questions that really made me think like, wait, why do I want to do that?
Yeah.
So it really kind of solidified my position. And a little side note, whenever this records, it will have already happened. But tomorrow, I'm actually getting to meet with that individual that we had spoken about. So things are happening. I'm putting positive things out in the universe and just hoping they come back.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Well, Tyler, I mentioned that you're calling in from Iowa. Is that home? Like, well, I mean, it's home now, but like, is that where you're from? Where are you from, man?
Oh, well, Iowa is not home. It is home right now.
Yeah.
I originally am from Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
Grew up there. Jeez. Spent everything right up until about 20 when I joined the military. I was in the Air Force for a little while.
Oh, wow.
Ended up getting hurt, so that was really sad. I'm very proud to have been in the military, but it's really hard to be like, I'm a veteran when you got hurt, because I really, there are people that,
Yeah.
So, and my heart goes out to them, and I appreciate the sacrifices they made. But yeah, not to get on a long tangent or anything.
Yeah.
So came back, and, did the ordinary life kind of stuff in Oregon until 2017.
Yeah.
Moved out here to a tiny, tiny little town in Iowa. It was a huge culture shock going from Portland to the Midwest. I can tell you that much. But going back now, I am so thankful, because it really slowed my life down in a way that I was able to really, really connect with and find myself.
That's awesome.
And it was the unexpected benefit of jumping out
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's so many times in life where we're, you find that huge growth in the challenges and the what ifs and the stepping out on faith and the going out on a limb, or just, jumping off the cliff and putting your wings out and flapping as hard as you can, hoping to fly,
Exactly. Exactly. And I mean, had I not done that, I wouldn't have met my wife. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. I wouldn't have been able to be at that conference at that time to meet you. So I really am a everything happens the way it's supposed to kind of guy. Yeah. I do think that we have a lot of influence in it. But I think that the more you live, the more you get. And so I think that it's really important to live intentionally and put positivity out there so that's what comes back to you, because you're going to get something.
Absolutely.
You'll get something.
Absolutely. Yeah. So in your younger days growing up in Portland, like I said, you're a voice actor now. Was that something, were you the kid with the cereal bowl Saturday mornings and like, I want to do that? Watching the Saturday morning cartoons, or did you just kind of find your way into it? Or
I always caught the Saturday morning cartoons, but I was getting ready for some sport ball practice of some sort. Okay. I was a big jock growing up. I was always into art and artsy things. Picked up a guitar for the first time when I was 15. My whole family is all into music. And so, I was no stranger to creativity. Yeah. And, I'm a silly, goofy, like class clowny type. I'm not really the class clown. I would say that I was more of the school's jester of sorts. Okay. But I lost my train of thought big time.
That's okay. I was just saying, where if you're in early life was inspiration for voiceover.
Of course. Sorry.
No,
yes.
No, you're good.
I was going to say that I was big on watching cartoons growing up, like huge, but never was big on like, I want to do that. That's what I want to do. Until my senior year in high school. This was my first soiree into thinking of voice acting in any form or fashion. There were these not cartoons, I'm sorry. There were commercials on the radio of this junkyard for these guys named Pick and Pull. And they just were these two different characters, and they always had these kind of situations down at the junkyard, and they were the funniest thing. And I was like, oh my God, somebody gets paid to do that.
Yeah.
And it dawned on me, and I would have these daydreams of having the studio in my basement or whatever. And this is right around the time of West Coast rap was really popular. So you would see them in the studio and stuff. And I'm imagining me in their voicing silly commercials instead of this. So that was always a funny little thing. But you grow up. I joined the military instead.
Okay.
You kind of forget about the old dream when you're growing up.
Right.
Not, I really was into playing the guitar. That was my creative outlet. Yeah. I still am. But one day I had a dream. This is going to sound so crazy. Okay. So my aunt is a big seller on Amazon. And sometimes when you're on Amazon, you scroll through and the listing is just so jumbled that you're like, I'm not going to get this product. Right. Okay. So I had this dream. This is ridiculous. Okay, this is a podcast. Here we go. I had a dream that I was an editor of these Amazon things.
Oh, wow.
And then I woke up. So I called my aunt, who's this big, she's good. She's good. And I said, hey, is this a thing? Is there a market for this? And I had to leave a message because she's busy. So in the time it took for her to call back, I did a little bit of research and I hopped on and I found, the Upworky, Fiverr kind of things.
Yeah.
And you see the voice acting here on the thing. And I'm like, voice voice act. Hey, I remember that.
Pick and pull. Yeah.
Oh, pick and pull. Yeah. So I just looked on there, just, killing a little bit of time waiting for my aunt. And when she got on, and like we actually talked it over, she was like, she set me straight, but I had a fire lit.
Wow.
And man, oh man.
Yeah.
That fire is burning. It's burning inside.
That's so cool, though. But I mean, like you said, you were like, you know what? I had this dream, and I'm gonna do this other thing, straightening out listings for people on Amazon because they don't know how to form a sentence. And you
sometimes,
and then this kind of flashback is like, hey, remember you thought about that? Maybe you should think about that again. Like you said, kind of everything happens for a reason. Those little butterfly effect moments, those things that lead into lead.
Yeah.
That if you didn't have that aunt who was great on Amazon, you would have never looked to try and fix her post because she can't. Not necessarily that she can't, but just that they were bad.
No, exactly.
But to reach out to ask, and then you ran into this other resource. That's so cool,
right? And I not to get too far off topic or anything, but it's one of the only things in my entire life that I have gone just full bore, 100% balls to the wall.
Yeah.
And had all of the people that I encounter be positive and uplifting and telling me that I'm doing it the right way. And it has been challenging.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Because I thought maybe I'd have time to build up to be this great big voice actor, and not saying that that's what I'm going to become, but the dream is there.
Yeah.
And to hear people say I might be able to do it, that's it's pretty crazy.
That's the thing is like, and I discovered that even from just meeting you on the car ride up to Atlanta, but getting there, it was such a welcoming community of people that want to see everybody kind of succeed. It didn't seem like, oh no, you don't need to, I'm not going to teach you the secrets because I don't want you're taking money off of my, out of my bank and It was none of that. It was like, let me show you, let me help you, let me show you. Hey, yeah, I'll listen to you. Yeah. Oh, that sounds great. Try it this way. You know what I mean? There was just such a great community. And I've continuously found that with all these people that I've been meeting in, my post-convention work that I've been trying to do, that it's just like, yeah, come, it's like a little warm hug. It's like, come on in. Yeah. The water's fine. Come on.
Yeah.
There's a lane for you to swim in. Come on in.
Yeah.
And it's been so cool. Yeah, I love that. And I love that you're getting that and that the timing is the timing. The timing's right when the timing's right. So it's
right.
And for you to be, running full tilt and getting that kind of, affirmation that, yeah, you can do this. You've got, a natural talent. You keep going. Don't take your foot off the gas. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Is there...
Well, and to loop everything back to here, I kind of feel like, honestly, I previously had this type of situation occurred. I don't think that I would have been able to handle it. I don't think that I would have had that mental fortitude to see that the carrot, I can actually reach it, but to not just keep trying to nip up and grab it, nip up and grab it, nip. You know what I mean? I'd have done something. So I'm happy that it happened now. I'm happy that it happened the way that it happened. And I'm happy that I am where I am when it happened.
Yeah, absolutely. So in your, is that, you moved from Portland, Oregon to Iowa. Was there, I would never think, hey, Iowa's the, hotbed of voice acting. So, was there something that precipitated the move from Portland to Iowa, specifically, other than the wanting to pursue voice acting? Was it just a, better pace of life or getting away from something that just wasn't serving you?
Yeah. I moved right after I turned 30. And I didn't have like the 30-year-old crisis and, oh no, I'm going to be so old. But I did have kind of an eye-opening experience in that the city around me was not the city that I thought 30-year-old me was going to live in. And realizing that if I moved 2 or 3 hours away, somewhere comfortable, toss the ball that way. Okay, it's over the fence. Sure. I'd be back for every barbecue, for every pool party, for every holiday, for every Tuesday. You know what I mean? So that would have consumed all of my time in that manner.
Yeah.
So when that realization struck, it kind of opened up the door to wherever I could go. So I started looking, found some websites that would compare statistics for all sorts of different, desirable statistics for everything, like
cost
down to
of
like
living and all that stuff.
Well, but down to like restaurants per capita.
Oh, wow.
And like movie, like theaters per, like way down. So I'd put all of that stuff, all the entertainment, all of the everything, because I lived in the city. I was like, I don't like, realistically, I don't really go out all the time. So whatever. Gotcha. So I put everything down except for cost of living, job market, and crime rate.
Okay.
Those 3 things, because that's really all I cared about. And it was like, you're going to live in the Midwest. And so I was like, refresh. You
must be wrong.
Yeah, I was like, no. So I just started looking around. And I ended up finding just outside Des Moines, there's a little town called Pella. Okay. And the first time I saw footage of it, I was like, this place looks like Dutch Disneyland, and I think it's fake. So the more I looked into it, I was like, wow, dude, this is actually really cool. So I ended up sight unseen. I found a landlord that was willing to rent to a dude from across the country if I paid him 3 months in advance, and promised to get a job.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Yep. Little small town, Iowa. Yep. It's amazing. I changed the locks when I got there and like somehow ended up not putting the key onto my key ring and didn't realize it for 1.5 years.
Wow. So you just left the doors unlocked?
They were just unlocked.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I went to be like, it was one of those situations where it's like, I need your house key to blah, 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 or whatever. And I was like, oh, shoot, where's here, I'll just give you mine. So I go to get it, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? Yeah. Where's my house key?
How have I been getting in?
I was like, I changed these locks 1.5 years ago. Yeah. Not even kidding.
But that's so cool, because that's such a rare thing to hear that, everybody's like, I got to worry about this, I got to worry about that. That you found a spot that you can feel comfortable. Even the doors unlocked for 1.5 years.
For 1.5 years, dude. And every single bike I've ever had growing up got stolen. Every single one. I feel like if I was like changing a tire in the driveway and accidentally was like, I got to go inside, I'm going to burn the chicken or whatever, and then forgot. Yeah. Not only would the bike be there in the morning, the tire would be fixed. There'd probably be another spare one. They'd like a little note. I saw you miss the rest of the thing, or I just it is so crazy. My neighbors know my name.
That's so cool. That's so cool. That's
it's great. Though. And they're quiet, which is great.
Because you're not. No.
No. Exactly. Yeah.
So what? So you moved out, and you said you promised the landlord you'd find a job. What did you find voiceover work immediately, or was there something in between?
No. I when I first moved out, I started working at the big manufacturer in town. They make like agricultural equipment and things like that, like mining, earthwork kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I worked there for, I don't know, 4.5 or 5 years up until COVID.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I decided I wanted to work at home. There was a lot of, COVID affected a lot of people a lot of ways. And being from Portland and going to Iowa, there's maybe some fundamental differences in the way things are approached.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's bad at all.
It's just different.
At all. Yeah, just different. And I found myself just kind of wanting to not be around that anymore. So I ended up coming home and working in insurance. And that just like tugged on my heartstrings. I was doing Medicare and Medicaid and hearing all these like my grandmother, you know what I mean? Just like getting raked over the coals by their grandchildren who are taking all of their Medicare and their pension money. And like, so I'm like crying on the phone with these people. Like, so I wasn't like, when the world's on fire, what am I going to do? But I ended up, I like creating things, right? Okay. Yeah. Creative. And so I decided I want to be an electrician. So I ended up doing that for a little while. And that's when I ended up having the dream. That's when I started to transition things over, and it's all history now, but man, oh man.
But like you said, you never know which one of those things along that path, if you hadn't done, that might not have led you to where you are right now.
Totally.
That's,
totally.
And like I said, I'm so personally grateful that you are where you are right now, because you're in my life. I feel like you're going to be a longtime friend. Good. Sorry to break that to you like that, but guess what? You're stuck with me.
I'm happy with that. If half my friends are like you, I got a damn good crew. I can tell you that.
So now you're picking up steam. You're diving into voice work. You're getting some great responses from folks. What would be one thing that somebody might be listening to, like, you know what? Maybe I'm at that junction in my life. I don't want to try something else. And I always had that, there was a pick and poke in my life that I enjoyed. What would be just one quick piece of advice you would give them if they want to pursue voice acting?
Remember that everyone wants you to succeed. Yeah. Regardless of what you want to do, if you want to be a gardener, if you want to be a beekeeper, if you want to be a mechanic, everybody wants you to be a good gardener. They want you to be a good beekeeper. They want you to be a good mechanic, because when they want honey, they want to go to the good beekeeper. And if that's you, they want to find you.
Yeah.
They want their car fixed at the good mechanic. Everyone wants you to succeed.
Yeah.
People don't, I've never one time ever walked into a new restaurant thinking, I hope this place tastes like shit.
Right.
Ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let other people decide, you know what, this just isn't for me. And you don't be the person that tells you no.
I love that. So outside of the voice work, is there anything that you're into to keep yourself busy or active or anything like that? Like what's bringing you joy right now?
Music. Yeah. I decided I'm gonna start a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do some. I want to shoot for like 2 a month. I think that's doable. I've never done any YouTube content or anything like that, but I've been playing the guitar for a long time. Okay. So I'm gonna, kind of voiceover adjacent, but kind of build my skills in that audiovisual technical world,
Yeah.
while also doing something that I love. You know what I mean? I've always been the rhythm guy when we're playing guitar, but I've always been able to keep up. I'm always able to play the song the way it needs to sound, and it doesn't always have to be crazy. So that's going to be my approach. It's going to be like, hey, check out the easy way to play this song from a guy that's just been playing the guitar for more than half his life.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, because the rhythm guitar is like the backbone of the song anyway. I mean, that's what holds the song together. That's what moves it from place to place. So that's a great approach for showing people songs.
Yeah. Well, and I am huge on community. I am all communal. And I think that if I can help people learn something that seems more difficult than it actually is, then they in turn can maybe go and teach that to somebody else. So that will, increase art, which is a beautiful thing. And I love that. But like you said, with rhythm kind of being the backbone of the song, if you know how to play that, like that's what people sing along to. They don't sing along to the because nobody has good timing. Nobody can keep
right.
We're gonna wait. Hold on.
Right.
Hit it. Nope. You didn't. You jumped it.
Missed
it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So just learning how to do that thing that gets everybody happy. Like, let's all do that. That's my subtext in my channel. Don't tell anybody that there's a target on my audio.
All right, Tyler, this is the second segment of the show. This is where we dive a little bit deeper into your mental health journey. I believe that the more we can have these conversations about mental health, the easier it becomes for all of us, because I think depression wants to tell you that you're alone. And the more we can see ourselves in other people, the more we realize we are not alone in this, and that way it takes away some of that power. So for you, how do you keep the darkness at bay?
There have been times in my life that I really was unsure about every decision I ever made. About all of those little things that we've been talking about, the key little decisions that don't seem like anything, that classic butterfly effect. And I am very thankfully, I'm not someone who has dealt with very severe mental health issues in the past. So I have a capability to not dwell, which, oh my goodness, there are people in my life that I'm very, very close to that have experienced mental health episodes, issues, different periods throughout my life, their life, our lives together, our relationships, that have really shown me that my ability to kind of give myself that pick them up and dust them off is such a unique and rare capability that it almost sounds fake when I say it. And that inner, you're still breathing, you are here, you are worthy, you are worth it, you are capable, you have value, get up. That just works for me.
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't work for everybody. And I wish that it did. And I have learned the hard way that you cannot just say that to people.
Yeah. You can't. Yeah. 100%. It's never going to come out the way you expect when you say something like that.
At all. Yeah. My biggest, if I'm going to be completely honest with you and with your listeners, I had a very big bout of imposter syndrome about coming on your mental health podcast without having a background of this evidence of, myself. It pulled on me. Mm-hmm. And I realized that being that I am very close with people that have had some pretty serious things happen, mm-hmm. I have a pretty unique situation in that I have this just happy-go-lucky attitude with a deep empathy that others just aren't there, man. Yeah. And back off. And some people just don't get it. Gosh. Yeah. And that's why I decided, man, I'm getting on there, because there are people out there that just don't want to have the conversation. Yeah. They just don't want to talk about it because they don't have to deal with it, because it doesn't happen to me. It happens to everybody. It's in our society. And if people would talk about it more, it would be okay. Yeah. So, absolutely. So that's why I came on.
Well, and I appreciate you, not giving into that imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome itself can be something that can be debilitating, in life, in your mental health journey, because you say, well, I don't have a point of view on this. I don't have a point of view on this, but you do. It absolutely affects everyone, whether it be in little ways or in large, clinically diagnosed ways. Mm-hmm. Whether it's just a day you wake up and you're like, you know what, I had this thing I was going to do, but I'm just not going to do it because I just would rather sleep in, or you need to, I'm going to just lounge around and not do anything today. That's taking care of yourself, whether you realize it or not. And maybe because your body, your mind says you need that. You need that decompression day. You need that extra day of vacation that's not active vacation or whatever, you know what I mean? Right. It's a day to prepare to have to go back into work or whatever it is.
Exactly.
So we all have something, but it is definitely something that we have to be able to approach with the greatest amount of care and empathy, because you don't know where everybody's at. The adage is true. Everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. And if they're not telling you what that battle is, it's a special kind of empathy you have to say, hey, I can see in you that something's going on. Okay. I just want you to know that I'm here. If you need to talk, I will listen. I will not offer any advice. I will not, try to persuade or just get up off the ground and you got to get out, whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm here just to be present if that's what you need.
Yep.
It's so thank you for overcoming that imposter syndrome, because you're an actual human being. So therefore you cannot be an imposter human. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, and I wanted to get on and say that you got a damn good podcast, man. You do. Your guests are good. You're a damn good interviewer. And myself, I am a listener now of this without having dealt with mental health, because it's good, social, meaningful listening. If you have other listeners out there like me, I just want to say, do the hard stuff. Shut your mouth. Let the conversation be led in a way that's not up the hill, because the other direction works for them. And our job is to hold their hand and make sure that they don't fall down. That's all.
All right, Tyler, this is the third segment of the show. It's time now for the Fast Five. Fast Five. It's time now for the Fast Five. Fast Five. Thank you. I appreciate you singing along too. Maybe I can, maybe I can get you to give me some backbone chords for the Fast Five or something like that.
I want it to be so funky.
The Fast Five is powered by Poddex, an app created by my friend Travis Brown. If you go to chewingthefatbr.com/Poddex, it'll give you the link where you can download it on your App Store, your Google Play Store, whatever. It was created for podcasters, but it's great, just icebreaker conversation questions as well. So definitely check it out. But it's 5 questions, no wrong answers, just first thing that comes to the top of your head. You ready?
Chickens.
I haven't started yet.
Oh, I think I need to wait for the question mark.
Yeah, get away from the question.
Sorry.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. Do you consider yourself superstitious?
No. I do believe in karma, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Superstitious? No, but I love tradition.
Okay.
I love tradition. So like the lucky socks kind of stuff, like, yeah, but not because I think we'll lose, but more just because like
it's a fun unifying kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we all wear blue, Wednesdays we wear pink, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Exactly. Fuchsia Friday.
Yeah. I love that. All right, question number 2. What's the disadvantage of playing things safe?
Oh, you don't go big. You don't go big.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. Could you?
Your face.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish people could see your face right now.
I know. I answered your podcast question with my face.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's imagine something. Okay. The Hail Mary. Literally, like the one of the, like, it's the Hail Mary throwing up a prayer, dude. If nobody threw up that prayer, all we'd have is a bunch of dive right. Like you can't play it safe. Staying inside the box is inside the box. The fun is outside the box.
Well,
that's what I think.
I love that. Question number 3. What was the first car you ever owned?
I had an 89 Jeep Cherokee.
Ooh.
And I loved that thing. If I'd had it still today, I would still drive it. I love it.
Yeah.
The seat was broken. Yeah, the steering wheel broke on it, and it had tilt steering, but the lock mechanism didn't work anymore, and so I could pick it up.
It's almost like you're riding a horse with reins. It's like,
yeah, I kind of like, whoa, Cherokee, here we go. Yes. Yeah, it was awesome.
What color was it?
Red.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
Gray interior. It was cloth, which is perfect because I was a sweaty kid, so I didn't want any leather or anything.
Right. You didn't want to
great.
stick to the seats or anything.
Yeah. Oh, it was fantastic, man. And like I said, I was a big jock, so all my friends packed in there. All our gear was in the back.
That
dude,
thing
I was
just stank. Oh my gosh.
Oh, the high heaven. It was so good.
All right, question number 4. As a musician, what do you think is more important in a song? The melody or the lyrics?
Thanks a lot.
I mean, I'm just...
Okay, let me think. You can hide a bad melody with good lyrics. And it's hard to hide. For me, it's harder to hide bad lyrics with a good melody because it's like lipstick on a pig kind of for me.
Okay.
But I love lyrics. Like, oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Like if a song has good lyrics, I'll give it a pass on the melody. But
okay.
So I guess lyrics. Let me go with lyrics. Yeah, lyrics.
I love it. I mean, that ties into what you're doing now, spoken word, giving voice to words. I mean,
true.
You wanna have good words. That's awesome. I love it.
I do. I love them.
All right, question number 5. If humans came with a warning label, what would yours say?
Do not leave alone.
Wow. Wow.
No. Jeez. My label would say, overactive. Just overactive. But it would be like the TNT, like the shock, like not like TNT dynamite, but like the firework stands that come, like how they have that shocking. Yeah, it'd be that. It'd be that.
I also feel like yours would be like caution, loud noises.
Yeah, loud noises. Loud noises occur with no warning frequently.
Right. Oh, that's awesome.
I probably have a few different labels.
That's great. That's great. All right, Tyler, that's our Fast Five, and that is the show. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. This has been great. If folks want to keep up with you, what's the best way they can do that?
Oh, geez. I am Tyler Smith Voice on everything. You name it, that's what it is. If you want to go to tylersmithvoice.com, you can find me there. Get in contact. I'm Tyler at tylersmithvoice.com. Feel free to reach out if you'd like. It doesn't even have to be voiceover related. Shoot, I need a friend. No, I'm just kidding. I'm friendly. I guess that's more what I'm saying.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
So yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, I'll make sure to put those links and all that stuff in the show notes. And you can, of course, find Tyler's information on the website, chewingthefatbr.com, in the guest section as well. But again, buddy, I wish you nothing but success in everything that you're doing. I'm going to be right there cheering you on the whole way. And I love you. And I can't wait for our next chance to talk together again outside of this.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very happy to have met you. I'm very thankful for what you do here with this podcast outside of us and our relationship. I think what you're doing is absolutely crucial and essential, and I wish you nothing but success.
Thank you. I appreciate you, buddy. And if you would like to support this podcast, I'd appreciate it if you bought me a coffee at chewingthefatbr.com. But until next time, I look forward to the chance we have to sit a spell and chew the fat.